This is apparently been censored then. Let's see if it is actually censored. They're gonna censor her now then. It is massively censored. No, but generally this is very, very massively censored. Leave a comment below. Do you agree with the censorship of Marin-chan, right? Of Marin-chan? Because I, of course, looked into the manga, right? Controversy this week, since the preview, how it is censored, right? Because in the manga here, you see her, butt naked, you see the nips, right? You see down to her, like, yeah. So this is the actual anime image. You only see you straight up here, like almost at her neck, right? So you basically don't see her body. In the manga, you see like her whole full body, right? So yeah, it's a very, very different thing, right? She's testing out different underwear here, and she's getting ready to, do if it goes. She's like, oh yeah, we're finally gonna lose my flower, right? And it is very, very censored. I just want to point out that I love that some people were defending this thing by saying that, oh, but it's only in the preview, it's probably gonna be full nudity or something in the episode. Really? Like, that's the weirdest cope ever. Like, it's only in the preview, guys. If we get the actual episode, it's gonna be like freaking hentai, man. Like, no, of course it isn't. No, but it is censored, right? It is censored. Now, my take on this thing is with everything, right? So they massively censored this scene. You barely even see her body. You see her face and, opposite holes in the pantsuit. But I want to be very clear, guys. For me, right, it's all about consistency, okay? Or maybe that is that it should be as it is in the source material. For example, I made a video, right, about complaining that Vivi has been race swapped, right, in One Piece. That's all stupid. Harry Potter, that's stupid, right? This to me is the same thing. I know it's like a weird take, but I don't think so at all. It should be like it is in the source material. A lot of people, of course, can't handle that. Oh no, anime and manga has ecchi stuff, whatever. Right? They can't handle that. Well, don't watch it then, or don't read the manga. Right? I think it's very absurd to me that some people are trying to take the stance where they're just like, oh, but it's okay if the manga is more ecchi, but the anime should be innocent, or the anime... No. The anime should be exactly like the manga, right? You can't have it that the manga is super ecchi, whatever, and then the anime is just completely censored. That's ridiculous, right? And saying that is a good thing or something, that's probably, I think, the worst take on it. I mean, I have less problem, right, with people that are saying that it should not be at all, If your take is that, dress up darling, Marin-chan, similar animes, mangas, 2D, half-girls, one. These kind of manga and anime should be banned. If that's your take, that's a terrible stance to have. But regardless, that I think is actually a more reasonable positioning. You're saying that you want to ban all kind of manga, anime, gaming, whatever, right? With attractive characters or whatever, yeah. If that's your take, that at least is a logical consistency, right? But I think it's really hilarious seeing this yesterday, the tourists, right, the anime tourists, being like, oh, the manga should be super sexy, but the anime should be nerfed, the anime should be censored. That to me is the dumbest take possible. I have much more respect for people that want to censor everything, they should ban everything. At least there is a consistency. At least they have some kind of, standards. It's like nothing should be allowed, right? And it reminds me of religious people, okay? I have a much more respect for a person that is actually genuinely religious, right? I don't mean I don't care what religion is, okay? I mean, I have a lot of friends who are religious, right? And I have much more respect for them if they're actually religious and they're not just like this kind of half-ass religious thing. Like, oh, I kind of believe in God. It's very common where I'm from in Sweden that a lot of people are Christians, right? But they never go to church or mass or whatever, right? I don't like it at all. Then you say you're an atheist, right? But if you're a Christian and you're a proud Christian, you go to church, I have much more respect for that, right? The people that are like it's kind of half-ass religious people, right? This to me is the same thing. Oh no, we should censor all animes. Anime should have blood. Animes can't have ecchi stuff. Oh, but the mangas can have it because I don't read mangas anyway. I mean, that's the thing, right? Most of these people, they are, let's be yesterday, they're slop, right? They're brain rot. They don't have I won't say intelligence, but it's more like the attention span, right? To actually read something, genuinely, right? These people have to watch anime at like 4 times speed, right? So they don't care if the manga is complete hentai or whatever, right? Because they're never gonna read it anyway. So the anime for them has to be all this mainstream and issues. So it's ridiculous, right? And mind is not darling. I think it's funny. The last point here is that this manga and anime, right, has, it's probably one of the most popular ecchi shows ever, right? it is not a show that usually would be popular. I read this manga before it was famous. I read this manga a few years before the anime, got made the first season, and I told people that this is like the best Gyaru anime or manga or a potential anime for all time, right? I was like, when this finally gets an anime, it's gonna be the biggest hit ever because it is truly like an amazing Gyaru stuff, right? But the thing is that, Gyaru used to be very niche, right? I always love Gyaru. Like, Gyaru's my favorite. Like I told about, I love Gyaru. Like, Gyaru's my main thing. This is my absolute favorite thing. It's a reason why my wife has this appearance. You know what I mean? How she looks. but like, I love Gyaru so much, right? Gyaru the Yankees. And this is kind of like, there has been a niche thing for so long, right? It's been a niche thing. And now suddenly we're sitting here, and not only is anime getting like mainstream and it's sloppy so on, right? But also like niche genres, like a Gyaru rom-com that used 10 years ago, it would have like one watcher, me, basically, right? Now it's like super famous. I think that thing too, right? That people just can't handle this anime because this is very, very niche. Madness of Darling, just a few years ago, would have been the most niche anime ever. But it's so good because Marin is so beloved character. It has been rocketed in through the mainstream of anime, right? This is one of the first like truly ecchi mangas to become mainstream, so to speak, and people just can't handle that. These absurd, ridiculous, pathetic third people, they can't handle that because they're used to only watching, shonen battle slop, right? Basically, even that, right? So they only take time, yeah. They're like, so they can't handle this. But it's funny because I can't think of any other like ecchi manga that is this popular in between like the normies, right? Well, that was the episode. Done! I can still fit in my bikini. Because this is like if she was fat too, yeah. I can still fit in my underwear thing. I think that's just already though. Oh god, yeah! You wanna do it? But this is like the last episode. Marin is such a goddamn thirsty person, right? Because he's thinking about playing this weird nun game. It's a horror nun game, right? And Marin is like, let's do it. Yeah, Marin is like, penis. Like Marin is obsessed with having. Marin like really wants to do it, and he's just like, what is this woman so weird for? Why is she so aggressive for? I don't understand. Yeah, like he can't even like comprehend what she's trying to do, right? He's not living in the same like dirty reality as Marin. This is also something, right? As I mentioned here, you have to remember that Marin is a complete pervert, right? Marin plays aero games. Her hobby is cosplay, buying condoms apparently, and aero games, yeah. Marin is like, got this con and yeah, Marin is like, yeah! You gotta remember that she's the weirdo, yeah. Ah, yeah, that's what I mean. You have to remember that Marin is a complete pervert, right? And this is also something I think that people can't handle because they're used to women being innocent and so on. It's this kind of female character, you only find them in like Sex and the City perhaps, and it's like kind of very like, boringly male-focused shows, right? Then you have like very, very, dirty girls, so to speak. But in these kind of rom-coms, usually it's only men pushing it for it, right? So American casual tourists, you can't handle this. They have like a mental breakdown over that Marin is tertiary, right? Yeah, that I think is a big thing about it. But yeah, God is like, we're gonna play this game on so serious mode. Is that a PS5? I think so. Yeah, I'm playing towards Hollow Knight. Freaking badass. So I'm boss 7, I think now. Mom is like, but I wanna have sex! Mom is like, I wanna do it! She's like, he's playing video games, I wanna do it! She's so nervy, but it is a fun episode though, because of course, she's so into it because she's trying to, yeah, like in her mind they're gonna have intercourse at that moment, right? Yeah, and he's just like trying to play this video game. So in her brain it's just like, this is super awkward. How should I start the action? How should I kiss him? Should I grab it? She's just like, yeah, let me get over there. Yeah, should I get closer? Should I like touch it? It's so awkward because he's completely oblivious to this. Of course he is, because he's a normal person and she's an otaku, right? You have to remember that Marin is one of us. Yeah, she's a complete pervert. She's the perverted cat ever, man. Exactly. She's like, oh god damn it, we're gonna do it. Yeah. He's just like, well, what we do? He's like, dialogue button here. What ending should I go for? That's awesome. God just sits there like, interesting storyline this game. What should I pick here, Marin? And she's just like, Deus Ex! Yeah, she's super horny, this crying. Oh, this is awesome. So Marin is always right. She's such a perv. She can't handle this thing. She's like, oh, we gotta do it! We gotta do it! We gotta do it now! I wanna do it now! Yeah, Marin's having like a mental breakdown because she's getting so goddamn thirsty. Yeah. she's like collapsing because she's getting a blood loss because she's like, oh, I wanna do it! You know, like, Gojo's like, are you okay? What happened? Like, what's wrong with you? He doesn't get it at all. But I mean, it's all in her head. Because she's so incredible, she's an otaku into ero games, you know. He's like, are you okay? Ah! Who's that doing me now? Do it! Do it, Gojo! She wants it so bad, man. Oh my god. Ah! He's just like worried about her health, man. He's afraid she could hurt, right? She's like, yes, do it. Oh my god. She's such a perv. I don't think I'm sorry for Gojo. I think I'm sorry for him almost. Like, honestly. I honestly think I'm sorry for him. He's just like, oh, you hurt? You injured? He's like, oh, should I help you up? She's like, do me now! Yeah. And she's like, ah! She's lying there like, do it! It's like, what is wrong with you? But it's what I mean. She's like an insane person. I keep saying it. Marin is actually one of the most, mainstream anime, right? That's a complete, like, perverted freak as a main character. She's a complete weird otaku, right? And now she's, like, calming down because he gave her food, yeah. But, I mean, come on, seriously. She's just lying there being like, oh, Gojo, do it now. Whole scene, basically screaming she wants to, have it, of course, yeah. And it's just, honestly, I keep saying it every episode. Man is probably a psychopath. Like, seriously. We see it in the episode before, right? She got these, like, massive, weird behavior swings, right? Where she goes from being, like, super happy to angry and so forth, right? She can turn it off and on. She's charismatic. She's kind of shallow. I think in the end, she's like a psychopath. Seriously, that's like honestly my professional opinion. Man is a psychopath, and I'm not joking about it. I'm not joking. Okay, you can call it. No, I'm a rape. I think she's a psychopath. But it's kind of funny though in the scene here because she's so incredibly dirty-minded, right? She's like an old dirty man, but she is, right? I would feel sorry for Gojo because he's just like, oh, are you okay? You fell down. She's like, oh, I'm doing, oh God, like If we reverse the gender, right, yeah, this would never be okay. Imagine this classic. That is a classic comparison, right? If it was Render yours, and Gojo instead was just constantly like, gotta F her. And anything she will do, he's like, yes, that's my, Yeah, it would never work, right? The actual game is a horror game and she eats her family or something. Yeah, we are family. Of course, Marin likes some kind of weird, like, ecchi error game where you consume your own parents or something. Yeah, these are the sisters, right? These are the nuns. Gojo's like, ah! Gojo remembers he's dating this like crazy psychopath. That's what I keep saying. Marin has no breaks. Marin is a psychopath. Yeah, he's like, ah! He's like, that woman is scary. Why am I dating this psycho? Yeah. Marin loves the shit. Marin is like, yeah, it's so hot. Yeah, you eat your own parents. Yeah, Marin is like, it's the best game ever. This is so scary. Yeah, God is like, but yeah, of course, she don't end up doing it. Obviously not. Marin fails. Her lust is failing. And now she wakes up. Yeah, and I was like, what? He didn't do me last night? He was just angry. He's like, I want to do it. God, you get your stuff up. Nande. Like, you loser. And now she's like, oh, monster. Yeah, now she finally gets it, right? Then, of course, she's one to drink monsters to stay up all night. It wasn't doing it. He didn't want to do me. He wasn't condoms. Yeah, but like I go, he's like afraid of her. I was like, oh, this game is super scary. Yeah, she only allows these like insane weird arrow games. So has like, and the thing is that, right, like a lot of this old school anime manga, especially talk about tourism and niche stuff, right, is that old anime especially, they were brutal and kind of ecchi and so on. And of course, sorry, God, you keep like crying about the battle. But anyway, yeah, they tend to also be more dark. That's what I mean. Like these older ecchi stuff tend to also be darker in both sexual stuff, but also in blood or gore, right? Because it was kind of like if it's 18 plus, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like Kitty or something, right? It was like, oh, this is super brutal. The fights are brutal, and it also has some whatever, right? So that's kind of it, right? Marin is really into these like old school Japanese, like really, really hardcore stuff, and I mean hardcore as in both ecchi and hardcore as in oh my god, this is bloody, right? And she loves that. She's like, oh yeah, That's hot! By the way, next chapter clearly, it's clearly on the chapter in the storyline. He's so adorable. They're like, yes. Going to stay afraid of this thing. He's still like afraid. He's been like mentally damaged now. Stop it! Oh, stop it! Oh, God, you has like a mental breakdown. He's played the worst game ever. Marin has had him play this like a horror game. You eat your family. Yeah, that's the game Marin loves. And they're like, it's the best game ever! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! God is like, no! No, it isn't, you weirdos! You freaking freaks! Yeah, he's like, yeah! Marin, though, like, yeah, play this horror game where you consume your families on. You're like, what's wrong with you people? Yeah, God is like, you people are sick. Stop celebrating this. Okay, she's watching this stuff, of course. It also comes a bit early, right? Here comes a little Emoto. The most adorable little Emoto. Yeah. Sounds like, how to say it? She's always, she basically is always like a blackmailing her. Yeah, emotional blackmailer. She's so adorable. This is emotional blackmail. Every episode she enters and is like, oh, Nishan, I'm so sad. Can't you play with my friend? Oh, Nishan, can't we go this thing? Oh, Nishan, no one else likes me. Come on, seriously. She's emotional blackmailing her every episode. Her poor older sister hates it. She's always like, I don't want to hang out with Marin. So yeah, she hates it. She's so hating it. And every time she can't turn her sister down, it's always like, she's so damn adorable and I'm gonna do it, goddamn it. Yeah, see? She's blackmailing her. This is how you do it, man. Little sisters, man. Immortals, man. Okay, now she wakes up here. She's embarrassed. She thought she was gonna do it. No, Marin is... Yeah, I got my best panties on me. She's like depressed now. Respect to this scene. She's like, no! I was getting all ready to do it! Jesus Christ. Oh, this episode gonna crash the internet. All these tourists hate it so much, right? They hate it so much. Yeah, Marge is like, raging over not getting some action. She's lying there in anger, like, I want to touch it. So it's so sick. Oh, she's insane. You know, she's flashbacking her insanity. Yeah, all her dangerous attacks on people. Jesus Christ. No, she's crying now. Oh my God, this is like sad now. Jesus Christ, Marin. She's like, I really wanted to do it. Like, no, stop it, stop it. Like, if she's more honest with him, it obviously would have happened. Jesus Christ, Marin. She's just lying there, like a belly aching. Like, come on. If she was more direct with him, like this girl is. She's like, what happened to you? Yeah, I mean, her friend is always like, are you doing it, you guys? Yeah, she would be like, give me some action. Yeah. Her friend absolutely would. She's very honest. Yeah, she's very honest. Yeah, Marin, she's like, I could just tell him in his face that I want to do it. Yeah, she says, with best is right. Tomodachi. Oh yeah. Daro indeed, Daro. Oh, her friend's adorable. but I mean, she's super honest. Yeah. She's like, you're doing it good, you aren't you? Yeah, like, get a room already. You know, it's kind of her take on stuff, right? Yeah, like, just do it. Real what happened. It's something else. He got some food for Marin or something. Grandpa got some free food or something, and I can give it to Marin, of course. She's a goddamn hood. It's a hoodlum, man. She lives in his house, basically, because there's no more food always. I keep saying it. She's just like Marin, right? In a lot of episodes, is basically homeless. No, but she's some weird otaku girl, right? That can't cook food, and she only buys like instant noodles or whatever. Then obviously when she got fat suddenly because she has no normal food to eat. So God was like, I have this elephant for you. Do you want some? I got this lux, you know, and she's just like, what? Food? But if I eat it, I get fat, you know. I would love an arc with Marin start training instead, because she clearly is thin, I suppose, because she doesn't eat a lot of food, yeah. But what if she ate food and also exercised a lot? But no, she's more into eating a lot of food she gets. She got him So I keep saying she's basically some weird hobo that they keep feeding her. That's why they can't get rid of her. Yeah, that's why she can't get rid of her, because she's like a cat. She goes back because she gets free food. And Grandma's like, yeah, she's so adorable. Grandma's like, he's cute, man. I got like a granddaughter now. I have to feed her. Grandpa's like, take some food. He's just like, he feels sorry for her all the time. Yeah, this is a weird girl that we can't get rid of. I gotta feed her. She better marry my grandson, you know. Obviously, Grandpa is playing the long game. He's like, yeah, she gotta marry my grandson. I better keep feeding her, you know. You gotta keep her healthy. It's so weird. She basically wishes them every day to eat all the food. Yeah, like it's super. Jesus Christ, man. So tomorrow as well.
Hi.
Yay! Good, of course. We're dating, right? Basically, like, yeah, I'm my girlfriend. Yeah, like we basically married. He's like, yeah, of course. Like we basically live together. Like you live in my house, basically. Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure. I shouldn't laugh at this. This is kind of sad, but it's just kind of adorable. She's adorable, crazy. She's like sad because she couldn't get laid with him, right? But she really can if she was texting the truth. And he obviously loves her, and she's silly because she just keeps being like, oh, do you still like me, Gojo? He's like, oh, yeah, I still like you. Like, you're my best friend or so on. He's like, yeah, okay, you know. And she's like, I don't know. Okay, fine. I'm being the harsh on her. She obviously, she's worried. She obviously is worried. She's obviously a little bit nervous. She's gonna lose him or something. I mean, I get it, but let's be pragmatic here, Marin. He has no friends. She's his first friend, right? He had no friends. The poor guy was not bullied, but kind of ignored. She's like the only guy in his life for like after the first year, right, of this the current storyline. But then she, you know, now he's more friends with other people, and she's got maybe a little bit. That's what she's getting worried. Oh no, that's a random guy. He's Marin. She's like, I only have my Gojo. Yeah, shut up, you bastards. I'm really love. I'm out now. I want those guys. Yeah, I want Gojo. But then it's just like, yeah, like talk to me, you pervs, yeah. I'm not thirsty for any person, yeah. You know, I like it. Now she looks really angry, so now she looks pissed off, Myrmonden instead. I will get Gojo first. Yeah, it's like, I'm getting Gojo's first time! You know, it's like, so yeah, this episode probably very controversial no matter what. Of course, they did censor it, talked about earlier, but I bring it up again because, for context, right? This story has been going over this week. And we also had, of course, TheAnimeMen, talked about yesterday, or the tourist band, right? And my point is that these are the same people. The same people, they want to censor and nerf Marin-chan, right? And hate on these animes. They call it Gooner and so on, right? Are exact same people that are hating on Astro Boy or whatever. They really are, right? And their fan base defend that. Again, same people, right? They're all like, you know, COVID weeps or whatever you call them, right? Hood weeps. Yeah, this is exact same people that are gonna hate this thing. And I think that they can't handle anime like Dress Up Darling because in their world, you're right. They grew up in these like kind of very sloppy American TV shows, right? They don't have this stuff. In America, it's very frowned upon, right? To have any kind of, you know, incestual love, whatever, right? Especially then for female characters. So you have to either watch something that's like old ladies, right? Something like Sex and the City, right? And then it's like these pervy old MILFs trying to get some kind of... That is in America and nothing else, right? There's nothing in this like this kind of category, right? You have, of course, kind of the American Pie and so on, but those are obviously kind of, you know, like they're teenage rom-com movies, but otherwise it doesn't really exist. So I think that's one reason why they can't handle like, oh wait, the female main character is actually thirsty, you know what I mean? They can't handle that. Yeah, it's like doesn't in the culture. They just can't do that, and they really hate this in the Japanese media, right? So I think the episode here will be interesting because even if they nerfed her, right, the censor so to speak, they still will probably hate it because half the episode is joking that Marin is really, really, really thirsty. Right? Half the jokes are Marin trying to do it and then failing, and her being a weirdo, her trying to always get Gojo in the bed, basically. He's like, oh, you're doing it. But I want to, you know, she started crying and so on. It's her doing that stuff. And like I said earlier, if you reverse the gender and there was a man instead, everyone will hate the anime and it wouldn't work and so on, right? So, but it's still, this probably still can't like capital like this in the brain. The brain can't handle this. It's too complicated, right? To have a character like Marin. So I think it's been interesting. I think we're gonna see a lot of people hate this episode, regardless, right? Even if they censor it. And then of course the other side will also hate it because it is clearly censored. I'll cover it again here, but obviously in the manga, his whole body is shown basically, and in the anime, you kind of stopped up here, right? So yeah, objectively censorship, 100% censorship. And of course, the reason that it's censored It's like I said earlier, it is censored because of the anime tourists. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for these loser tourists, right? It wouldn't happen if My Little Darling was aired like 10 years ago, right? Before we had all these tourists. Then this anime wouldn't be as mainstream, right? As normie stream. And then they would just show her basically just naked, right? Yeah, that's how it is, right? I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying the facts here. It is because of the popularity of anime generally that we see this censorship. So that's kind of it. But otherwise, the episode itself, yeah, it was a funny episode. I mean, as I always say, one thing I love is anime is that to me it feels like kind of old school, rom-commy that we don't see that much more anymore, especially in the Western, right? Where it's okay to joke about this weird relationship and so on. Of course, the game that they're playing is some kind of weird horror game. I expected nothing. I said last episode, I was like, it's probably some super weird horror hen game that she likes, right? And God is like, oh, it's puking how bad the game is. And all the girls are like, oh, it's so hot. Oh, yeah. God is like, no. Yeah, I love that. That was really funny. God is just like, oh my God. They're a bunch of crazy otakus. Leave me alone. Why am I dating this crazy otaku for? He's like, oh my gosh, it's so weird. But just again, to really hammer that point down, though, I think it is a very thing you have to understand with Japanese culture, right? Is that when you're playing these, like I said, 18 plus games, right? They tend to have really insane stories too. And that is something I also that overall miss with anime, right? Because back in the days when more animes were, like more berserk, so to speak, they were more in the berserk realm, right? They tended to have also better stories, right? Because if you're limiting, this is why I hate censorship, right? If you're limiting yourself with whatever reason, you can't have the best story. Because if you can't anymore write a storyline because it's so offensive, right? You have to censor some ideas, and that's why these old shows and old games like that are usually have better stories and so on, and also ecchi whatever, right? Because they have no censorship. So I really do think it's gonna like ruin the animes, right? Because obviously these companies are, they're capitulating to these tourist fans, right? To these fake fans. They are. The episode here's a proof of it. It is. Anyway, guys, if you subscribe, press a like button, have a great day.